Hey guys, and welcome back to the observation series of A Shattered World with me, NG Paradox. Now, we're almost 100 years to the end of CK2, well then we'll go on to convert it to EU4. I'm probably not going to change anything about EU4, probably not going to do a random new world or anything. This series was all about just doing a Shattered World from CK2 in the mega campaign, so we're not going to do anything weird or change stuff into EU4. Just thought I'd clarify that. A lot of people have been asking questions about, am I going to do anything like that? But like I say, each time we do it, you know, there's so many different things we could do with these types of series. I want to try and concentrate on one idea for now each time. And for this one, the idea is about how this could work with a Shattered World. Plus, I'm pretty sure it can work doing a random new world, but I'm not sure how that will work in Victoria 2 and Hearts of Iron 4 if the mod ever gets updated, which it still hasn't been right now. But we still got lots of time to go, and I don't want to risk any, you know, sort of bugs or anything. We've had enough problems with these sort of things already. I don't want to add more potential problems to that sort of thing. So we're going to let time go by now, and as we can see, things in the world are becoming a bit more stable in its own weird, crazy way. You know, there's actually only few nations really we recognize most of the time. You kind of got England, Scotland, Ireland, Saxony, Hispania, Germany, which is now controlled by Essex because the King of England is he used to be the King of England, that's why he's now in charge of kind of Germany. There is tributary, even though he's only the Duke of Essex, and the king is Dwyfyn Abanids. The Abanids took England once again, so Abanids back on top in Saxony and England. But yeah, and they still got Scotland, yeah, and Scotland of course. So Abanids still everywhere. Mali, Nubia, Aquitaine, Croatia, Egypt, which one's this? What's this called again? The Al Jazeera one, Maharashtra, Bengal, Yutsang, Kharaksan, and Turkestan. And Transylvania, that's most of the nations, basically. That's the most nations actually in the game right now. There might be a few smaller ones here and there, but that's mostly what we're seeing. So it's kind of weird that there's only a few nations. It feels weird at this point in time. But a lot of them are pretty big, and it's going to be weird to see these converted into EU4, especially ones like Saxony and Hispania. Ones like Sweden and Al Jazeera could work out quite nicely because their borders are not too bad. So Sweden, Al Jazeera, and oh, I was about to say the Bengal Empire, but they're currently having a revolt, so they should be okay for now. What's this revolt about? Against the tyranny of the Emperor. Yeah, so ones like that should look pretty good actually, especially the ones in the east, apart from Maharashtra that controls this up here and there, and is currently now split apart in southern India. Ugh. Southern India. Oh, and Maharashtra is mostly come together there. Gujarat, though, still independent for now. Same family. Narasimha the Tenacious of Gujarat. Okay, same family, of course. And they're both Sunni Muslims. So, oh, the evil. Well, that's always a great name to have. I'm sure the people must love you. That will always give you a good position in history. When people look back on this history and see you're known as the evil, that's not gonna sully his name at all, is it? I mean, it's probably sullied his name now, to be honest. But yeah. Look at the rest of the world. What's Sweden up to when it comes to wars? Still the Valkyr. Interesting clothes right there. Culturally, he seems a Visigothic. Why did you become culturally Visigothic? Yeah, the mother was Visigothic, yeah. It's so weird seeing the Viking, like, with these clothes. It looks so odd. Okay, we've got this peasant revolt right now, and that's really it in Sweden. Sweden's not really got any other problems going on. Saxony, de jure over Brunswick, claim on Scotland. Norway is fighting against Scotland, okay. Bertha's claim on Scotland. Mecklenburg War. Okay, just little wars here and there. Nothing too crazy. England. England making Norway a tributary state. So you got Norway getting involved in the British Isles here quite a bit. Trying to claim someone to go to Scotland. Being attacked by England. Ireland right now. is having quite a few wars. On Murph War, we've got a claim on Desmond. So a lot of little people trying to take pieces of Ireland, yeah. And Ireland attacking. So Ireland probably attacked Scotland, and all the other nations then decided to jump in on Ireland to try to take their stuff. And his son was killed by a rabble, and that means a 15-year-old boy will take over in the future. Hispania? Always doing well. With Gills the Great. They kind of build a bit, then fall apart, build a bit, and fall apart. Right now, they have tons of men, but they're kind of stretching everywhere. They have pieces everywhere. Their family have conquered bits and pieces everywhere. They've lost bits and pieces everywhere. It's, yeah. Their main hold, though, is Iberia and Italy. And I guess the area around here. They've done pretty well around here of holding this area over here, kind of east of Bavaria. Croatia, though, just down below it. And, of course, Bulgaria just over here. Bit of a hunchback, that one. Saxon, Croatian, Dragon the Fifth, depressed right now. Got a number of wars going on right now. De jure wars. A claim on Croatia for Armenia. So he's probably come from Bavaria. I would have said Connacht. Why are you being attributed to Connacht? Okay, so he just took the High Lordship of Connacht. He lost Essex as well. Okay. Fine. We'll have to just accept that and just move along. Just move along. Aquitaine currently is the capital down here in Africa, the north here. Son of Jormungandr. 29 marshal for this guy. He's pretty good, Mr. Aquitaine. Mr. King of the Aquitaines. De jure war. Lots of, like, just little de jure wars. No big claims going around here at the moment in time. I guess a lot of these guys, there's no holy wars going on because obviously they all are Germanic. The Germanic faith is just everywhere. So you're not really seeing, like, these big, like, holy wars going on. And we're not seeing many crusades apart from the Pope really just claiming crusades and stuff. No other religion seems to be pushing crusades apart from them. Conquest there, Transaconia, Al Jazeera. You still got your Sunni heresy right now. And claim on Syria. Yeah, nothing too crazy right there. Would be nice if they took the land away from Maharashtra. That'd be kind of nice. Bengal Empire just kind of jumping out here. Okay. So we kind of look over the world. Let's increase the speed. Then we've had a quick look over the world at this beginning part here. And we'll increase the speed now so we can just really get into it. Get to kind of the final road of CK2. Because I feel like at this point we've probably had enough of CK2. We've been here for a while now. And I feel like things are going to stay mostly like this. For now. Until we get into EU4. I think EU4 will be really nice about now. I think it will really add kind of a mix to what's going on at this point in time. Because it feels like these nations all have got to their point where they're kind of stretched a bit thin, or they keep growing and falling apart again, and growing and falling apart, or there's too many big ones around them. Despot Procopius, the Inquisitor of Sicily. Well, well, well. He really loves his Germanic faith. Germany's no longer a tributary at this point in time, so good for them. Saxon de jure over Brunswick. He's a strong lad, this one. Strong lad indeed. And, yeah, Vladimir's not looking great. Transaconia's... I've been told I've been pronouncing this, wrong, which I do apologize. Someone in the comment section will say I'm pronouncing it wrong. Now, the reason I will pronounce words wrong is because sometimes you never hear someone else say a word. And so you just got to go off a guess of what it might sound like, or it's just easier to sound like for you, or maybe I misheard someone else say it. These things happen all the time. It's not a big deal. There are thousands and thousands of words throughout the world, and different pronunciations throughout the world. Obviously, this is an X here, but I was kind of going like, you know, with the X, Transac. So I was like, it sounds like a K, so probably just the easiest way to say that, Transaconia. I don't know, I've just never really heard it said many times. Transoxiana? Transoxiana is maybe the way you're going to pronounce it, I'm going to guess then. Soxiana. Transoxiana. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Pronunciations with NG Paradox, where we mispronounce things and try to work out how to say words very badly. Welcome home. But yes, so I'm not completely sure how to pronounce it. I do apologize. That thing is something you guys have to get used to. You know, people get into their routines, and there's just some words they haven't come across many times, or they haven't heard people say it before, and I don't think it's a thing to really be surprised about. I find it funny when people are surprised, like, why did you say that word wrong? It's like when people talk about England, like, we have lots of words, like, over here we have, you know, Gloucestershire, and a lot of people say that word wrong. Foreigners say it wrong all the time, and a lot of English people are surprised, like, how do people say these words wrong? They're easy. Well, they're easy maybe because you've heard them before, you just get used to it. I don't know, this is my opinion. It's very easy to say words wrong, especially when you go around the world and you learn lots of other words. Some pronunciations are different, sometimes you see combinations, and they can sound slightly different, and people, I think, sometimes forget that. You know, you might see one word that has an A and an X at the same time, and in one word it sounds differently, but a different word actually sounds slightly differently as well. That happens a lot. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion about this whole crazy world we call language and sounds. Let's just go back to the animals, you know, and just make noises, you know, and just listen to the tone. And it looks like Norway did take over Scotland, but at the same time they became a tributary to England, who seemed to be having a slight civil war. Claim on England. The Abbanids have to fight for their right for England. The Neatling family have bent a knee to pay money to England. Norway versus Ireland. I kind of like it as being part of, you know, Norway. This little north out. This little bit here, I guess, would like to go to England, but if this bit is just Norway, I kind of like that. It looks nice. Doesn't look too bad in my eyes, and Sicily is now popped over here. This area feels like a little bit of a mess. A lot of small little nations here, you know, Bulgaria, kind of messed up Hispania, getting involved. We have Transylvania, von Falkenstein over here, Sweden stretching into Crimea and beyond, Saxony just to the north up here. It's just, this area is a bit of a mess, if you ask me. At least we got Croatia to kind of make people feel like it makes sense, you know? Nice, perfect borders, look at this. Just delicious, lovely borders, you know? Everyone should take note from them. How is Bohemia doing? Our King of Bohemia, how's he doing? He's still got lands up here. He's still managed to hold on to those. Quite surprised me able to do that. Bavaria as well. King Ostratios the Depraved. Good stats overall. Look at that. You know, pretty good overall. Wouldn't be a bad guy, but he is probably quite a bad guy because, you know, he's a kinslayer. Silk Shroud, a golden sword, and a crown. And Egypt still has this land up here. I wish Saxony would take that. Come on. Come on, Egypt. How's Nubia looking? Nubia and Abyssinia, have you been clashing? Excommunication War, and Abyssinia, Nubia, Excommunication War. So 22,000 men, and Abyssinia has 14,000 men. So quite a few more men in Nubia. Even though he is, oh, he's known as the Strange. Maybe that's why he's excommunicated, his mystic ways. People just don't understand. They just don't understand him. They just can't take him. Abyssinia? What? Okay, well, I guess they're tributary to Abyssinia. Yemen is looking tinier and tinier all the time. Sana, they believe in Yazidi, Bekhalid, son of the dark spirits. Well, that's an interesting name to have, son of the dark spirits. The Bengal Empire stretches out over to here, but it's facing a ton of problems right now. And no Kongs, yeah? No Kongs. I mean, I'm going to check back every so often. Just, you never know. Maybe one did survive, even though we know they're all dead. But you never know. Maybe one person will take the name on in their steed. We see Abbanids pop up all the time with different sigils and stuff. Al Jazeera, they're having a massive trouble with rebellions right now. War against the tyranny, mostly just tyranny ones, religious-wise. The Middle East is an absolute mess right now. Look at, like, Europe and North Africa, united in their faith. Odin has preserved and kept the faith and protected the people of these lands. Slavic is gone. There's a bit. Oh no, there's a bit of Slavic. One place of Slavic. Are you Slavic? No, you're not. Just the people believe it here. But Yazidi, I'm loving seeing Yazidi coming out on top. Hopefully they become the main faith, maybe. Miaphysite, still doing okay over here in East Africa. And of course in northern India, as you'd expect. Jain doing great in Tibet. Taoist up here quite a bit. Germanic is also stretching out into like here. He's like in Iraq. I guess it's kind of Iraq area. We got like Germanic faith. And around here as well. Over here as well. It's just getting everywhere. Just getting everywhere. I don't know how they do it. But yes. Jain still holding on in the south of India though. There's a bit of Sunni Muslim spreading down here. But the Jains are kind of trying to hold on for now. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it. But I'd love to see Yazidi just grow just before we get into EU4. Culture-wise, of course, as well. The Nets up here. The Norse kind of hasn't split up that much. There's a bit of Swedish here, but mostly it's just stayed as Norse. Russian spread quite a bit of Finnish up here. Khazar, Bohemian spread out a bit over this way. Greek is still pretty big. Italians, Saxons are doing really well culturally. The French and like German culture never really got to get a stronghold. The Saxon and the Saxon kind of culture really got in the way there, and it's managed to hold on until now. Visigothic still doing really good. Italian up here. Saxon culture even down here in Africa. Mandy's still down there. Most of the rest looks kind of correct. Gujarati, I'm pretty sure that should be in India. Yeah, that probably should be in India. I'm not sure that's normal. And a bit of Saxon culture as well. So we've got some kind of like colonies. Indian colonies, European colonies. There's some Nubians over here. African colonies then. Turkish over here, like in the Holy Land. Yeah, they kind of got a lot of the culture over there. Assyrian, Kurdish, Turkish up here. Bit of Turkish. Turkish kind of getting everywhere at the moment. Armenian, Mongol bit there, but also Khazar and Turkish, Persian. A lot of Persian still up, but Turkish kind of swept in as well. Sindhi, Gujarati. Up here, Hindustani is definitely the biggest one, and down here is definitely Kannada. They're definitely the biggest ones. Zhangzhung in kind of the Tibetan region is the biggest one. Tokharian. And Han has got a bit of a nice little spread over here as well. Not too much. Government-wise, it should all just be feudal, I think. And, of course, the Sunni equivalent, the Muslim equivalent, Iqta. But there we go. Yeah, basically just all feudal. No places that are tribal from what I can tell at all. We can look at the dynasties. Not really going to gain much from this apart from maybe in Europe with the Abbanids. It gives you a little show of the Abbanids and stores and stuff, but nothing too crazy, I would say, when it comes to that one. Opinions, revolt risk, trade zones. I wonder if there's much trade zones going on. Tlemcen is kind of the main trade node over here. Seems to be the only one. And we have something over here. That's the Silk Road, okay. Is owned by the Duchy of Holland. Okay. So that's kind of the Silk Road. Not really many trade zones or anything. No real republics or anything, I guess. They didn't really survive. Epidemics are okay. I don't think we saw the Black Death. Then again, it's always hard to know when the Black Death comes whenever I do this, because I always never click kind of the epidemic button. So I don't tend to get to see it. Economy-wise, everything's looking pretty good. Everyone's developed up, you know, over the years. So all the economy is looking pretty nice right about now. And there we have it. Looking good. And then we'll put it back up. The Emperor of China. Oops, missed that button just there. Still the same family. They've been the family for a long time now. He loves the Indian cultures, but he dislikes tributaries, which is a very odd thing for a Chinese emperor. Why do you hate tributaries? You got many daughters. And so many siblings. Look at those siblings. Wow. I mean, they are the emperor. I mean, they could do as they wish, can't they? So, I mean, it's not really a surprise. The Bulgar are up here. Bulgaria have got them to bend the knee? The county, yeah. Daylam. What is Daylam? So Daylam is the former kingdom, but they've just kind of changed it from Turkestan to Daylam. Tokharian culture. The Kasaramids are still in control over that. I'm still seeing that family rule to this day. Hispania still can't regain control over the rest of Iberia. There's still a bit of Andalusia and Aquitaine control on bits there, but it's not much, really. They shouldn't be too far away, but there is a... Ooh, is that the Joms... Why did the Joms Vikings have so much of Sweden? 74,000 men for Emperor Garci Stor. So many men. He's not at war, but what is this rebellion in Sweden? Increase council power. Just to increase council power. Nothing too crazy. The Teutonic Order just wants all the power. Let's have a quick look. Sorry, I said Teutonic Order. Joms Vikings. War Chief Aldebrand Bloodaxe. What a name. He's a Stor as well. Norse culture. 26 Marshal. He is a badass. But he only has 12,000 men even with all that land. Which is not great. Islands. Oh, Scotland is free. It looks like. Does that mean it's split apart? Do they still have Gavelkind? Yeah, it looks as though they have Gavelkind potentially. Yeah, so the Knightling family is split between Norway and Scotland. Oh, this became Scotland. This became Norway. So they even had to divide Iceland. I mean, and the capital of Scotland is in Iceland. Scotland. We gotta pronounce it with a hard K, I guess. Scotland. We should probably be doing that. For England right now, Chipto State. Yeah. For Cairo, Nubian Holy War for Cairo. That's the type of war that I like. I want to see them expand northwards. We want to see nations expand. Everyone's just trying to keep together what they've got. But I want to see nations expanding. Nubia, is that what you're doing? War for Cairo against Egypt. 23,000 men. Egypt, those 37,000 men. King Henry of Egypt. Feels kind of weird to have a man called Henry being king of Egypt, but, you know, he's Norman apparently, but it feels kind of weird saying that, you know, the king of Egypt is called Henry, but at least at this point in time, I guess, it feels weird to me. Okay, maybe there has been one, but I've never heard of one. Karashar still just surviving till this day. Genghis Khan's descendants. The Bengal Empire hasn't taken advantage of the south yet. I'm surprised. I thought maybe they'd expand southwards with all the instabilities going on. Jain uprisings again. The Jains are still unhappy. Gujarat is a Western protectorate at this current point in time. Probably a good idea to protect themselves from Maharashtra, so that's probably a good idea. The Saxonies, the Abbadids are a weird one. Because, you know, the Abbadids have kind of got a really good area over here. They're kind of kings of North Germany as well. But then they kind of have all this land up here. They have the land over here. And, you know, it's nice to see the Abbadids, you know, do so well. It just feels like, why? Why are they over here? Khorasan? Did you split up? No. The Seljuks are coming back. There we go, guys. The Seljuks are actually got an independent nation once again. They are not giving up. Culturally, he's a Zhangzhung, and he's a Jain when it comes to his religion. But nice to see the Seljuks have their own place once again. This is all Joms Vikings, remember? Just under Sweden. They'll go back under them once the war's over, most likely. Hispania does seem to be having a civil war. Bulgaria's expanding. Independence League. 38,000 men for Garci the Monster. Oh dear, the monster. Who is the leader? Melal. He's 53,000 men leading from North Africa. That's a lot of men. If he can get them together, he could cause a lot of problems. King Izaslav of Bulgaria, his hunchback, you know, he's depressed because of it. He's married to one of the Sartaks of the Bengal Empire. Good for them. Oh, Croatia become a tributary to Sicily. Croatia, why? Why Sicily? Sicily's probably weaker than you, aren't they? 12,000 men. It's pretty equal, actually. Surprisingly. Germany not looking so great. What's going up here in Brunswick? So Brunswick claim on Provence. So, okay, Brunswick does seem to be independent. Is it a theocracy? Open elective. Yeah, the theocracy of Brunswick. Archpriest Ludger the Blind. So we've got the theocracy of Brunswick. We've got a Saxon revolt going on right now. See, there's so many revolts right now. We've got so many not stable nations, but like big nations, that the possibility for revolt is just now becoming possible. The 1300s, I would say, the years of the revolt. The last like 100 years have just been the years of revolts. That's the century of revolt, we should be known as. That's what we'll remember it as. The century of revolt. When the proletariat, you know, was fighting against the kings. That's what it would be remembered as this century. Germany, not looking so great at this point in time. We've got to wait for this rebellion to finish, because it's a big rebellion. And Sweden's going to look horrible until this is dealt with. And probably be attacked from all sides. War for Poland. Host claim on Poland. Who is that? I want to see. Who's this? Musa. He has a lot of claims, doesn't he? His grandfather was the Falkir. Ah, that's why he has those claims then. The King of England is still the Abbanids. English borders. De jure war over Lothian. England trying to get those nice borders in right now. Going down Aquitaine. Peaceful right now. Wickbert the Wise. Pretty good money and martial. So good for him. Mali is just staying in Mali now. It's so weird just to sit here. There's so many opportunities so they could just try and take advantage of. They never get to. Nubia, did you fail in your war? It looks like they might have. No, they did not. They did take Cairo. So Nubia did take over Cairo. How can you call yourself the king of Egypt without Cairo? This is insanity. This is just ridiculous. Duh. I spit on them. Can't call yourself the king of Egypt. We don't even have Cairo. Duh. Persia right now is mostly owned by Al Jazeera still. We got Makran. Okay, this part has become independent. The Bengal Empire is this. Maharashtra is this. Yeah. Guzgan. Yinelid family. Nothing too crazy there. Nothing too important. Sweden's now back together. Our lovely little blue boy Sweden. Good job, Sweden. Welcome home. Dispute wars. Claim on Poland. How's that claim on Poland going? If he lost that one, that'd be quite big. That'd be a lot of men lost, but I don't think he had many men, did he? He's 4,000 men. He's not really likely to win that at all. Scotland and Norway still separating Iceland right now. Think of all those families in Iceland. You know, think of all those families. We probably have the Iceland Wall, which separates the entire nation, just like the Berlin Wall or something. Sad, sad day. Hopefully those families will be reunited in the future with the reunification of Norway and Scotland. One day it will happen, and we'll be there to remember. But obviously the Nitland family are doing quite well right now. They've been around for quite a while, so it's good to see them being able to expand. They've not really had many opportunities. You know, Norway has been very stable for a long time. But the Storr family, the Hedi family, the Abbanids, you know, all these Germanic religious people, families, they've all been doing quite well. Better than the Knightling family, so they've been getting all of our attention for now. But yeah, just like last time, it just feels like the Bengal Empire, look at that. They've broken through. The Bengal Empire, India is here. Persia, India is here. In full blast. I'd love to see them keep going. Samrat Akaraj, the son of Shaitan, 63 years old right now. Sympathy for Judaism. Really good at his intrigue, but that's really it. He's not at war right now, but he has 60,000 men ready to fight when they need to. And his son, Bugu Sartak, will take over in the future. Not really a great man. His son is married also a Sunni. And they're both secretly believing in Taoism. Huh. Okay, I guess to just make his father happy. So when he goes into power, though, the Taoist will be in charge, maybe. He can reveal his true religion, possibly, and try to spread that influence. So that could cause some trouble in the Bengal Empire, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. Brunswick's still independent right now. No one is attacking them. Oh, and he's dead. And he's dead. Okay. Over Saxony. Saxony's attacking Brunswick there. Claim on this. Someone's attacking them there. And a claim on Burgundy. So they're involved with 3 different wars. 2 of them they're being attacked by, and they've got 2,000 men. It's not looking good for that little Brunswick at this point in time. We're now in 1357. I would say, yeah, we're now less than 100 years left until we go to EU4. So really not long at all. That Bengal Empire could be scary. That could be some good lands. Bengal Empire, Aljazeera will be extremely powerful, probably. So Bengal Empire, Aljazeera, Hispania, Saxony maybe, and Sweden should be. Those nations are going to be extremely powerful at the end. But the Sweden is facing revolt, once again tyranny, and for a claim on Denmark. The Jomsvikings are involved. He's got 12,000 men left. Baldur Hurs, 10,000 men to him though in there. Well, the Jomsvikings are getting too involved in politics. That's not what they're meant to do. They're meant to be just, the religious, people, the knights of the religion. They shouldn't get involved in so much politics. Duh. Disgusting. Not good. How is Andalusia, though? It's, a little place like a tiny little Portugal, in a way, Sultan Faf Wanaquo. Basically a tiny little Portugal we got here at this point in time. Not a war. I'm surprised Hispania doesn't want to finish the job. Hispania, what are you doing instead? Oh, de jure war over Varazdin. So Croatia and Sicily are attacking Hispania. How many men does he have? 63,000 men. Why would you attack them with... You got 3,000 men left. I'm sure they probably lost some. Sicily bent the knee to Aquitaine? Yes. So, Croatia's your tributary, and you are the tributary to Aquitaine. Okay, Sicily, thanks. Thanks for making this easy. The Store family. So the Stores of Aquitaine have forced the Stores of Sicily to bend the knee, who have forced the Croatian family of Odduvno to bend their knee, and there's now a rebellion. King Igor the Weak. Yeah. Your father... Wait, your grandfather was a great man. Dragan was a great man. Look what you've done, Igor. You brought the name of Croatia down. You've weakened it for generations, potentially. Tuh. No wonder he's known as the Weak. He deserves it, to be all honest. He deserves it, in all honesty. He just brought it down like never before. Abyssinia? How you doing? Hispania conquest against Abyssinia. Genoese prepared invasion of Nubia. So the Duke of Crete is actually invading Nubia. 18,000 men. The Duke of Crete has 8,000 men. Lambe. I guess, the name Lamb. He's got a wolf. He's a sheep in... No, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. In a way, you could say. Maybe that's how they got the name. And the sigil. They were a wolf in sheep's clothing. They tricked someone in some way. And so that's how they rose to power, maybe? Loving the Bengal Empire, though. And to see the Sarteks, kind of rise to power over here. They've got 2 Empire tier titles. The Empire of Rajasthan and the Bengal, which is Gavelkind. His father did have both, but it did not go to anyone else, just to him. Why is that? They are different now. Okay, so if he dies, it should go to 2 different sons. So we could see this empire split into 2 different empires. Gujarat is still surviving. I guess, yeah, because they got the protection from the Western Protectorate. So it does make sense while they're still there. But I want to see that. Do we want to see the empire go into 2? I mean, if the 2 empires are cleanly split in 2, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if they're not, I'm going to be slightly upset about that. Because you know what I think. You know what you guys know by now what I think. How old was he? Click on him. 47 years old. Yeah, he's not a young man. He's not a young man at all. His youngest son is only 5 years old right now. So yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to them if they split up. It's interesting, if you kind of split up just before when we end it to go to EU4, it's kind of a shame, because if you go into EU4, your nation wouldn't split up, but if you die just before, your nation splits up just before, and then they're separated. But obviously that's not the same dynasty as well, I guess, so it's not the biggest problem. England controls the North area up here. Egypt is kind of lost a bit of a hold over here, which is nice to see. That's what we want to see right now. But still got bits here, there, and everywhere. County of Cagliari. Okay, the stores actually control that. And they're part of the rebellion of some sort. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're going to end this part here, guys. We've seen how things are going. It's in the century of rebellion. And we're getting really close to the end. There should be at most... There's probably about 2 parts left in CK2 until we have to go to EU4. Like I said before, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how these nations can do, the families got to know, and obviously the other nations around the world, and of course the New World. How will that work out with a Germanic faith being so strong in this one? How will that affect the New World? Probably just means the New World will be very Germanic. And you won't have Protestants or Catholics getting in the way? I don't know. You know, because... There'll be no split, I guess. What will happen in the Age of Reformation? I wonder. Like, will there be... Is it because Germanics are the main faith in Europe? Will they have, like, a split there? Probably not. But it would be kind of cool if they did kind of put that in. And is the Sagex still alive? Yes, he is. The Sagex is still alive right now. Still got hold 10,000 men. Which is not far from Kabulistan. And Kabulistan's lost a lot of strength. They got the land over here and the land up here, but... That's really it. Al Jazeera's 45,000 men. That's a lot. And Yazidi is spreading more and more. Nice to see. But Miphasite is starting to get weaker in North India. No! I wanted Miphasite to survive in Northern India. I mean, it'll survive down here, but it would be really cool to see it in Northern India. I guess Taoist is also interesting to see in Northern India, but... I wanted to see it be Miphasite. That'd have been awesome. Just something completely different. So he's now openly Taoist. Yeah, so is his son and their daughter, the daughter-in-law. Okay, so people now feel comfortable to come out as Taoists now in the Bengal Empire. It's nice to see people can feel free to show their Taoist beliefs again, though. At least that's kind of nice for some of them. But we will end this here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now. And see you next time.